Now, as being a police officer for 18 years, I was getting quite confused. Why were the authorities not following up this investigation? I used to work with the Dorset Police, okay, but there was lots of information coming to my light that they were involved. So we had the email that I showed you a moment ago. We had another email from a sergeant on the Economic Crime Unit. Now, people have moved as a result of this. So the Chief Constable who was in charge of the force when I was reporting this has now moved. Okay, the Deputy Chief Constable who was in charge of the Fraud Economic Crime Unit department has moved. Members of Parliament have been brought back into power, including David Cameron, all over this. This is how huge this is. But let me talk about these articles here. So this is the local newspaper for the area of Dorset where this stems and where my company is based. I was trying to report, obviously, because I saw that the authorities were not dealing with this. I tried going to the press. So I've contacted this company numerous times. Guess what? They're not responding. However, they are printing various articles or publishing various articles in relation to this, which relates heavily to it, and I'll explain why. So this is the heading, Initiative Property Management. This was in the, where's the date? You can see there on the 21st September, and that was 2023. So they're publicising here, Initiative Property Management sparks economic crime investigation, and that company being involved in potential fraud. It also states that Dorset Police is involved in the investigation with this detective, Andrew Kennard, who was looking into my fraud as well, my report of fraud. Okay, so they're highlighting, publicising the police involvement with that company. That company links through Companies House records to my company. It also links through to a Masonic Hall. Okay, now there's a strong Masonic element to this, but there's also a connection, I believe, of the Mithridas, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Mithridas belief system, which stems from the Roman Empire, which is all about expansion. Okay, well, we all know we can't keep expanding. We need to control that expansion in the right way, not through killing people or death, but through allowing choice, which I'll come on to later. But yeah, so we've got this article. Let's go back. Sorry, I'll come on to that later. So the police are highlighting their investigation in relation to this company. I've obviously started contacting MPs as well. This is another article from 24th of October 2023. This is Connor Burns addressing that company in the Houses of Parliament. Okay, so he's gone there and saying, oh, we need to regulate management companies that this relates to. Obviously, that's a management company. We need to regulate them and ensure that there aren't victims. He's had lots of his constituents saying, look, what's happening? This Initiative Property Management is closed. Where's all our money gone? He's in the Houses of Parliament trying to show, addressing it. This is all a cover-up. I've got a video about Connor Burns that I'm going to show. So it's trying to make it look as though they're doing something, but they're actually trying to isolate it through to this company and not highlight how big it really is. So this is another one. Initiative Property Management, again, raided, property management offices raided by police. 27th of October. So that's over a month after the 21st of September, remember, when that first article came out. And yet the police are now only just raiding that address. Now, I was a police officer for 18 years, and I know full well, you search a premises as soon as you're starting an investigation, because otherwise evidence is going to be destroyed, concealed or altered. Of course it will be. But here we are, Dorset Police publicising an investigation in relation to this company and searching it a month later. Okay, you would not do that unless you were trying to hide evidence. So I obviously reported that and I made it publicised to the MPs. Look, this is a cover-up. The police are not, should have searched it straight away. Of course, they're not getting back to me because they all appear to be involved. This is another Daily Echo article, okay? And this is, now I'm not saying that Jodie's involved in fraud. I'm not saying that Connor Burns is involved in fraud. I'm just showing you the evidence that is available, and it's important, it's evidence. This was on, I can't remember, but it was just after the last article. Okay, and this is a guy called Jody, who's saying he's been a victim of Initiative Property Management fraud and he thinks it's worth millions of pounds. Okay, so he's there saying, look, I'm a victim, what's going on, where's all our money? Now, Jody, now we're looking at Companies House records again. Initiative Property Management, this is Jody's company that he's a director for, you can see, Martina Dawes, director. He became a director the very same day, okay, 19th of September 2023, that Initiative Property Management resigned. Now, if you look into Jody a bit more, again, I'm not saying he's involved in fraud. This is his LinkedIn page. Zoom in on that a little bit. Look at his LinkedIn page, okay? Now, he works, or did at the time of this, which was very recently, for a company called Marex. Importantly, he also worked for JP Morgan and Chase. Let's look at those companies a little bit more. This is again another article. As you can see, Coutts and Nigel Farage is on there. We'll come to Nigel Farage later in another video. So this is now looking at Companies House records for Marex Group PLC that Jody worked for, or still works for maybe. Okay, now I've made this. They were incorporated by Swift Incorporations Limited. The same company, remember, that started my company, where I've obtained clearly forged bank documents. It gets more interesting. Let's look at JP Morgan Limited. Now, obviously, he used to work for JP Morgan. Let's look at them. Okay, they were incorporated in 1930. They link very crude. They were originally called Chase Manhattan Limited in 1930. Remember, we said about changing names. So their incorporation documents will be under JP Morgan. So it will be under Chase Manhattan Limited. So JP Morgan, here we go. This company is linked very quickly through to them, Seneca Funding Limited. And there we go, that was started by Swift Incorporation Limited. Lots of the research suggests that JP Morgan is connected through to Swift Incorporations. Here you go. Here's another one. Jordan's, obviously, as you remember, Jordan and Swift Incorporations, they're linked very closely through my building. You'll see from the previous video that I've done. Jordan Company, there you go. This is all linked to JP Morgan. Again, JP Morgan at the top, you can see linked through CPV, Jordan Company Secretaries. See JP Morgan links with Bassam Capital Investments. Again, Bassam, Jordan. So they're centralising everything to digitise money, real estate. Now, real estate is key in all of this fraud. That's how I found out about this, through my building that's linked to real estate. These are all Companies House records. Links that are on there. I anticipate they could delete Jordan again. Jordan and Swift together. Now let's look at this gentleman, Graham Munro, Managing Director at JP Morgan. Oh, he certainly was at the time of this. Okay, so he's got a history there of his background. This is the LinkedIn page for Graham. Anyone can look at this. Now let's look at the Swift payments research in relation to the transaction system on all bank accounts. Okay, they've just picked, this was back in March 2023. They've just picked Graham Munro as the new chair for the Swift International Transaction System for England and the UK. Graham Munro, a 30-year-old veteran of JP Morgan Chase, has been elected a non-executive chair of the Swift Board of Directors, the company said in a news release. Meanwhile, Samantha Emery of Lloyds Banking Group has also been named to the board with the appointment complete. And remember, forged Lloyds documents obtained. By the way, I also took those to a Lloyds branch. They said they didn't appear to have been produced by Lloyds Bank. However, look at my other video. And Chase Manhattan is linked through to this system involving Swift Incorporations. And I've just gone, and this person is also linked through to Swift transaction system. And now we're looking, okay, through links to Swift UK and Swift Ireland Limited. Remember, they deal with the international transaction system for all banks. This has all been planned for decades. They were started up using Swift Incorporations Limited, which is Jordan's, which is Vistra. It's the same entity through companies linked to them. And this is Samantha Jane Emery, who was the Lloyds Banking Group employee that's just been employed by Swift as well. And you can see these are her appointments, Companies House records. She's got 2 appointments, Swift UK Limited, and unsurprisingly, most banks are linked through to this. Royal Bank of Scotland, Bank of New York, HSBC Bank. Now, if these are all connected to this fake bank document system, which I suspect they are being used for many of these companies, Deutsche Bank, remember, as in a German bank, it's very important, German, American, British. Initiative Property Management Limited, it's just research in relation to them, so I'm not going to worry about that. But interestingly, bear with me, let me find the document.